Hi paper pals and crafty friends, it's Lisa from Paper Pathways. Happy New Year's Day. It is January 1st, 2026 at the time of me recording this. And I am back with part 2 of my November Creative Daily Junk Journal. I did post a video, I believe it was yesterday, showing you my flip through of November 1st through 17th, and I just spent most of the morning and I completed the rest of it. So I wanted to jump on and show you the rest of November. So we finished yesterday with November, and here is the 18th through the 30th. So I just made this little pocket is out of a tissue box, and then I just put a little quote card on here. The cards that I've been reading at the end of the videos, the ones that I've done, I stuck that one on here. And I have been experimenting with drawing faces, mainly women's faces, but I did draw this guy up and I named him Joe, so I just stuck him in that pocket. And then I just have an envelope here with my journaling from the 18th. And this was a thank you card that I received in the mail for an order that I had purchased. And I liked the card. I thought it was pretty, so I did journaling on the back. And then for the 19th, here's the other part of that tissue box. And I just put a saying behind it that I liked. Flip out, and then I have a pocket here with some scrapbook paper or cardstock, and I have this little lady. I did not name her, but she's another face that I practiced drawing, and I added a shirt, and I gotta tape this back, glue this back down. That's my journaling. And then here again, some more faces that I drew. A bingo card. This is some packaging paper, and as I showed you in my video yesterday of it uncompleted, this was a pocket that I made, and I just added my journal in there. And on this page I added a lady that I had from a magazine, and some trim down here was from the upholstery sample book that I had, so I kind of made it like she was standing on the podium. And then on this side, I had to take my dad. He had to go to the hospital on the 22nd, so that's his tag, his band. And then I did journaling there. And then we just have little things that I have saved that I stuck on this page. And here's the pocket made out of a paper bag. And I did some journaling there. This was from a crayon box, and I liked all the colors, so I just stuck that there as a tab. Hope you guys can see. Let me add on this other light. Might be a little bit better. My Crafty Oasis is in my basement, so I don't have very good lighting. And I do have 2 windows, but my station is kind of set up in the middle of the room, so it's underneath one of the overhead lights. So I'm just working with what I have. And then this was scrapbook paper, and then on this page was brown cardstock. And I just wrote, "How beautiful leaves grow old. How full of light and color are their last days." And that's a quote by John Burroughs. And I just have that little embellishment up there. I practiced drawing some leaves, trying to do my own fodder. So I just stuck that there. On this page, this was from a vintage children's book, and I liked the little boy outside raking leaves, so I added that. And then on the 24th, I did practice again some drawings. So I have these 2 ladies on the front. And then I watched Anne Kenlin on YouTube. I apologize if I pronounced her last name wrong. she was showing us how to draw cats out of a heart, and I kind of liked how that came out, so I kept that. And then on the inside, I just have a coffee dyed, well, stained with the rings guest check that I received, and I just stuck this little image right there. And then I just can stick this back in here. And then I do have my journaling on the back of this. I hope everyone is doing well today, and if you went out last night, you had a good time, but you were safe. Some stickers and a little quote that I had. A book page. I just added some crochet trim on it. This was one of my own little paper washi tapes that I made. And then I have this tag with my journaling. And then this was, I was experimenting with different mark making supplies and things I've been collecting. So I created that and I used it as a flip up. And then I have my journaling on the back, and this is some more of my handmade washi tape. Just some wrappers from Reese's Peanut Butter Cups that I saved. I love Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, so I saved those tags, Vintage Ledger. And then on this page, I just have a little bookmark that I came across, and I wanted to save that. I like it in there. And then I just wrote something to remember. We're coming up on Thanksgiving, and I had seen my mother in the morning, and I realized I didn't have any stuffing, and she said, oh, she had an extra box. So thankful for moms, and she rescued me. So I just glued that on here. And then another quote card that I added on the front of this, and then we have my journaling in there. This was my fabric page edge trim, and I made it on top of corrugated cardboard. Kind of see the cardboard. And then journaling. And this little cluster was made by Tammy Brackett. I can't remember her YouTube channel name off the top of my head, but they're really neat. She made them, and she had them in her Etsy shop, and I'll show you the back of them. She just used some of those 3D, like the fluffy stickers that are made out of the foam. You know, what do you do with all those that you have that you might not need? And she came up with this, and I thought that was so neat. So I do have a bunch of these foam stickers, so I want to attempt to make some of my own. But that was an idea from Tammy Brackett, and if I remember, I will link her channel below. She hasn't been doing too much lately on YouTube, but she has a ton of videos that you can go and check out. I've got a lot of ideas from her. I've purchased a few flow journals from her. A lot of inspiration, great ideas. And then this was an air freshener tag, and I kept that, and I just stuck some trim on it. A little flip up, and then I have my journaling underneath here. More Reese's wrapping. And then we're getting towards the end. That was the 29th. And then I just wrote on the back of here, like Pam from the Paper Outpost, another lady that I watch repeatedly. She was actually the first person that I came across when I found out about junk journaling. And she always says, create with reckless abandon. And I actually do have one of her mugs that say that, so I liked that quote. And then here I just doodled a lady. I don't know if you can see, but she's glittery. I use glittery pens. And then a thank you card. The other portion of that thank you card from the order that I got. And I wanted to save that. And then right here we have fodder from Amber of a Thrifty Journal Shop. So I thought he was so cute, or she. So I added that in there. And then the 30th, here's my journaling. And then I have a couple copies of this because I liked it, so I added that there. And then my button tags that I made, I just kind of glued that here so I could add something in there. It's a little side pocket or side tuck. And then I found a quote on creativity, so I just added that here. Amber's fodder. And then we're at the back, and then this was a wallpaper sample that I had, so I made it into a pocket, and then I just kept my writing board in there. And then the back, this is also fodder from Amber, and I just stuck the little bear. He's so cute. I'm going to say it's a she, because she's got these long eyelashes, but I stuck her in the pocket. So that is my completed November Creative Daily Junk Journal. I need to start on December now. And let's pull a card and see what we get. A lot of these are geared towards a person as an individual, but I do like all the quotes on them. They're very motivational. So let's see what we can grab. You are an essential piece. So true. Without you all here watching my little YouTube channel, I'd be talking to myself. I mean, I kind of am talking to myself, but when you watch and you comment, I really appreciate it. So I couldn't do this without you guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Again, Happy New Year. Today is January 1st, 2026. See you in the next video.